Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. I guess all the controversy about Malika Andrews and, Des Bryant and Stephen A. Smith has put Josh Giddey front and center, all the way up in the front of the congregation. And I guess there's a little satisfaction to the regular sports fan to say that everybody should be treated equally when there's an allegation or an investigation and these kind of things. I believe that nobody should be judged uh, guilty in a court of public opinion, but let's face it, they do. And the question now for Josh is, what if he's guilty? Then what? And we're gonna talk a little bit about that. First, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. And let's kind of talk about Josh. I mean, this just details, this police investigation now into this thing. I mean, really, he's 21, right? When he allegedly had this so-called affair with the chick, relationship, it was like a year ago. He just turned 21, so he was 20. Let's just say this all started when, he was 20 or 19 years old. And they say the girl was a junior in high school. That means she's either 16 or 17. Now, let's look at high school, okay? Freshmen in high school, both girls and boys, are 14 or 15, right? And to tell me that freshmen don't fool with seniors in high school who could be 17, 18, or 19. So we're going to start locking up high schoolers for statutory essay. Are we really going to do that? I mean, it's been done before, but both girls and boys in mass, because they're all part of the same peer group. You know that? Especially today with the internet. A 14-year-old or a 15-year-old and a 19-year-old guy are in the same peer, well, maybe 18 in high school, 17, 18, are in the same peer group. They go to functions together, they go to sporting events together. They may not be in the same classes, but they're in the lunchroom together. They're doing a lot of stuff in the same circle. So this guy's like a year removed from being a high schooler. Okay, so here's another issue that I have with this whole investigation and how everybody's blowing this damn thing up. I think it's intimated that he met her in a pub, a rave, or a party, or something like that, where the minimum age to get in is 18 years old. And this precedent that has already been set, that it's reasonable to assume that anybody you meet in there is at least the minimum age. And to now start requiring 18, 19, and 20-year olds to ask for ID when they meet a woman in the club to see if she's of age. First of all, I think it's ridiculous. But I mean, is that what we've come to? Is that what we come to? He Wheats Bix I think he has a $40 million endorsement contract with them. They're thinking about pulling it. They haven't yet. The Thunder hasn't benched him yet, and I don't think they should, especially on this investigation. Okay, so let's just say he's guilty. And guilty of what, pray tell? Of being a 19-year-old guy fooling around with a 16-year-old, which is Oklahoma's legal limit. So we're going to try to find out whether she was 15 and in high school as a junior, as opposed to being 16 in high school as a junior. And looking at him, you can't count him at 21 because he was younger than that when they first started, right? So they both were younger. So what are we going to do? Is he going to jail? He's going to jail for that? Really? Is he going to jail? Is he going to lose his NBA contract for that? What kind of punishment should he get for that? I'm interested in hearing what people say. Because if you give me some of this Mormon bullshit, with all the effing that's going on out there, what kind of, so is it just because he's a celebrity? If he was a 20-year-old, 21-year-old garbage man, would we even be talking about this guy? because the girl's not 16 anymore. She's maybe 17 or 18. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. But these kids ain't babies. Now, I agree that if he was like a 40-year-old predator with a trench coat on, then yeah, we got something to say. But he's just barely out of her peer group. Barely. Maybe by a year. Two, max. Right? His brain is not fully formed yet either. It's like people like to say, oh, your brain is not fully formed till you're 25, which I think is goddamn horse shit. But still, so what kind of punishment? I'm curious to hear in comment section, what kind of punishment should he get? Should he be destitute now? Should he lose his NBA contract? And we put him in jail for a year so he can take it up the butt with the convicts and the killers and stuff like that for the rest of his life, never make a buck again? Should that happen to him? Is that what we're really doing? Right? Um, what else? Or should he lose all his endorsements? Should his whole life be thrown away? Because as a young man, he fooled with a younger girl. He's not 40, he's not 30, he's not even 25. So what should his punishment be? Because I think this whole thing is much ado about nothing. Now, the girl actually they say this girl that was the alleged victim, text out, I effed Josh Giddey. She texted that. No, it's not like somebody was taking pictures or he took some new pictures of her and all that kind of stuff. She put that out there, but okay, so she's so young, she's completely innocent because she didn't know what she was doing. And this old, crusty 20-year-old guy, oh man, he took such advantage of the chick. So what kind of punishment should he get? I'm not saying he should go free. It depends on the circumstances, right? But I'm just thinking about the scenario because this same scenario is getting played out everywhere across the country, especially in high school. The 14 and 15-year-old girls, you don't think they're fooling around with the seniors? So should we start throwing 18-year-old seniors in jail? I'm asking because those guys are men, right? And the girls may be underage. So is anybody putting out a warn order to all of these high schoolers that, listen, you're a senior, you can't fool with a freshman? Is there like posters on the wall? Is there something that's saying, are the parents somehow, making it clear that freshman girls are off limits? I'm not so sure that not in the rank and file high schools out there. I know they're not. Right? The inner city high schools, definitely not. Private high schools, maybe. Maybe. Or, so how much of these 18-year-old men in high school have the discernment not to fool around with a freshman or a sophomore? How many of them? I'm curious. Or a freshman in college. Yeah, some of these guys should say, well, if you're in high school, I don't want to talk to you at all. But we're talking about 1 year removed. How about the guy who's a senior and he goes to college and this girl was a sophomore at the time? So now here's a freshman in college dealing with a girl who's still in high school. Does that happen? Oh, you know what? It happens a lot. It happens a lot. So why is this a big deal in the first place? Should he get a pass? Should he have more discernment? Maybe. Maybe. But should he go to jail? Should he lose everything? I'm curious. Should he? Somebody tell me what's the punishment if he's guilty? And that's something that we should talk about because nobody wants to talk about that. What should we do with him if he's guilty? Anyway, our pain, I'm just curious. Our pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.